Today we're gonna be doing a full face of SheGlam versus e.l.f. Cosmetics. Now, both of these brands are affordable makeup brands. So we're gonna break this down and see what products are gonna be good for you. We're gonna take a look at how each makeup product works, how long it lasts on the skin, because we're gonna do an 8-hour wear test. So go ahead and get your makeup and your makeup brushes ready, and let's get into it. You always wanna make sure to moisturize your face before applying any makeup products, because that determines how good a makeup product is, because your skin always needs to stay hydrated. So on this half of my face, we're gonna do SheGlam, and on this half, we're gonna do e.l.f. Cosmetics. So we're gonna start off with the Love Dive at First Sight Moisturizing Primer by SheGlam. Now, this is supposed to be more of a self-setting moisturizer. It's supposed to help your skin hold water retention. So I'm just gonna apply this all over half of my face, and this is a really nice lightweight moisturizer. I find this to be really good, especially for oily skin, because once you apply it, it dries down matte, so it kind of gives your skin a mattified look, but it still helps to hydrate your skin so that your skin does not feel dehydrated and produce more oils. So I would find this moisturizing primer to be perfect if you have oily or combination skin. Now, e.l.f. Cosmetics does have this Puff Puff moisturizing primer. This one is more of a thicker primer. It does also have hemp seed, which is really nourishing for your skin. Now, I would say this primer, because it has more of a thicker consistency, would be better if you have more of like drier skin. Now, even though this gives a finish of more of mattified skin, it does feel very moisturizing. So I would say this primer by e.l.f. Cosmetics is more suitable for drier skin or if you have sensitive skin. And then the SheGlam one doesn't really look mattifying, but you kind of feel that it dries down on the skin. So I would say this one is best if you have oily skin or if you have combination skin and you're not really looking for too much of a thicker moisturizer. Now, when it comes to primer, gripping primers have been so popular ever since Milk Makeup launched their Hydro Grip primers, and I feel like brands have been trying to recreate that product, and SheGlam and e.l.f. Cosmetics both have gripping primers. For SheGlam, they have this Good Grip primer. This is more of a hydrating primer. It's really gonna help keep your makeup in place because it's gonna give you kind of like that nice grip that makes your makeup stay in place. As you can see, the consistency of this product, it's a clear gel. So I normally like to just apply this on top of my moisturizer. One thing I would say, it's very lightweight. It doesn't feel sticky, which is good. You don't want it to be too sticky because that can peel your makeup, which you don't want. So it's a good thing that this feels very lightweight and hydrating instead of sticky. Now, I just like to gently apply this. You don't want to put too much pressure when applying this because that can cause you to move that moisturizer that you just applied. And then after applying it, you want to wait, I would say at least 5 minutes, just to wait for the primer to be absorbed by your skin before you apply your makeup products. Now, e.l.f. Cosmetics, on the other hand, has 3 of these types of primers. Now, why they have 3, I have no idea, but they all feel very different. Now, this one also does have a gel texture, but this one is just more stickier than the SheGlam one. So if you're not a person who likes like really sticky, grippy primers, I would say the SheGlam one would be the best option. But if you're somebody who really likes that grip, likes that stickiness, then the e.l.f. one would be best. The e.l.f. one also does have 4% niacinamide. Niacinamide is really good for people with pores or oily skin because it really helps to balance the oiliness on your skin with makeup, which is great if you're going for a long-lasting makeup. And you also want to let this primer be absorbed, very similar to the SheGlam one, before applying your makeup. Now that the primer has absorbed onto my skin, we can move on to foundation. And for SheGlam, I'm gonna go in with the Complexion Pro foundation. Now, as you can see, this has more of a thicker consistency. It's supposed to be a long-lasting waterproof foundation. It does also claim to give a matte finish, and one thing I love about these SheGlam foundations is that they have really nice shades, especially for neutral undertones, because this shade right here is like my perfect match. Blending it out with a dense brush is really gonna help keep the coverage of the foundation. So if you're going for more of a full coverage makeup look, I would recommend blending out your foundation with a brush. If you're going for more of a light coverage, natural finish, I would recommend a damp beauty sponge. Okay, look at the coverage and look at the finish of this foundation. Like, it's giving filter on my skin. I love that it gives enough coverage. It's also a sweat-proof, water-resistant foundation, so it's supposed to be really long-lasting, especially during the summer. So this is a good foundation if you're looking for something that can last really long. And if you're somebody who gets really oily and sweaty, this foundation claims to not clog your pores, so it allows kind of like that breathable feel. And then for e.l.f. Cosmetics, we're gonna go in with the Flawless Satin Foundation. Now, one thing I would say about this foundation is the shades that they have in store is not the best, especially for deeper and darker skin tones. They have a lot of their lighter shades available in stores, but a lot of the darker shades are not available. So e.l.f., we would love to see a little bit more inclusivity for deeper and darker skin tones in store for this foundation. But I would say this e.l.f. foundation is the closest and most similar to this SheGlam foundation, just because they both give a satin finish. They're both full coverage and they both claim to be lightweight and long wearing. Now, because I don't have my shade for e.l.f., I am gonna go in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo CC Cream. This does have more of a lightweight texture compared to their foundations. Now, comparing the differences in the finish of the e.l.f. versus the SheGlam, I would definitely say the e.l.f. is hydrating. As you can see, my skin looks like I just moisturized it. And the SheGlam is giving more of that satin matte finish. It's also giving me a nice airbrush look. The shades are also very different, but I feel like both shades could work. SheGlam is definitely giving like my natural skin undertone. The e.l.f. is giving more of a golden undertone, but I would definitely say the SheGlam is a better match for my skin tone than this shade for the e.l.f. But I still feel like both shades could work for my skin. Now, SheGlam does have this Complexion Boost Concealer. It does have this sponge applicator that you can twist to get the product out. So I'm just gonna use this under my eyes to hide dark circles and to brighten up my skin. This does claim to be a highly pigmented concealer, so I'm gonna go in with just a little bit and then just blend it out with this little tiny sponge. Now, the concealer is a very thick and creamy concealer, so you definitely don't want to let this dry down or it's gonna be really hard to blend it. As you can see, this is giving me so much pigment. Even though I went in with just a little bit, it's more of a brightening concealer, but I feel like if you go in with a shade that is a little darker, you can get it to just be a highly pigmented color correcting concealer, especially if you have dark circles. Now, I would say that it's drying down matte, so it does kind of have like this matte finish. And as you can see, it's so full coverage that it's covered up almost half of this side of my face. So a little bit goes a long way with this concealer, but I would definitely say it's also brightening up my skin and it's giving it enough coverage. Now, e.l.f. Cosmetics does have these hydrating camo concealers that are also full coverage. This one comes with a doe foot applicator. I do also like doe foot applicators because they pick up a lot of the concealer. I am also gonna place a small amount for this because it does claim to be a full coverage concealer. Then I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out with a damp sponge. This also does claim to be an all-day wear concealer. It does say that it's great for all skin types and it does not crease. All that is gonna get put to the test, but so far I'm giving warm tones with e.l.f. Cosmetics, and SheGlam I'm getting like more neutral shades. Now, I will say that the concealers are very similar as far as coverage and it brightening up my under eyes. They also both claim to be hydrating concealers that give a natural finish. So I would say whether you have dry, normal, combination, or oily skin, these concealers could work for you. And for contour, SheGlam has liquid contours, which we absolutely love. The only shades that I do have, unfortunately, are their two lightest shades, which obviously wouldn't work for my skin tone. So I'm just gonna go in with a generic contour. It's actually more of a bronzer than a contour, which is exactly what I am going for. Now, SheGlam, if you're watching this, give your girls some liquid bronzers. We would love to see that. And then for e.l.f., we're gonna go in with the Putty Bronzer. This is in the shade Sunkissed, and I'm gonna use a flat brush and just pat that right above my cheekbones. This is more of a cream bronzer, which I absolutely love. It's more of an OG product that I really love to use, and I feel like it's very natural. It is also buildable, and they do also come in different shades. So whether you're going for a contour or bronzer, they have, I think, about 4 or 5 shades. Now, this does give more of like a hydrated, glowy finish. So I'd say these bronzers are perfect if you're going for like a nice, glowy summer makeup look. Now, SheGlam also does have liquid blushes, which we also love. I really love the packaging of their products. It's giving like a little luxury, but low-key affordable. So I'm just gonna apply like a few drops of these, and I'm gonna go ahead and blend this out with a sponge. sponge. I would definitely say a sponge applicator is better, especially for these blushes, just because they have a more of that lightweight liquid formula. So blending it out with a brush is gonna give you more of like a soft, natural finish. Look at how easy it is to blend this blush. Like, it literally just melted onto my skin. I love that about liquid blushes because they don't create patchiness on your makeup, and when you're in a rush and on the go, it's just so easy and fast to apply these types of liquid blushes. And then for e.l.f, I'm gonna go in with the Camo liquid blush. This does come with a doe foot applicator. So I would say with doe foot applicators, you really have to be careful with how much you're applying because it takes up a lot of pigment. And I'm also gonna use a sponge to blend this out. Spoiler alert, I love these blushes. They're really pigmented, easy to blend. They come in so many different shades. As you can see, the e.l.f blush is way more pigmented than the SheGlam. The SheGlam gives more of like a natural, very light coverage blush, and the e.l.f is giving like full coverage blush because I placed a very small amount for the e.l.f, but it gave me so much pigmentation. Now the Insta-Ready powder for SheGlam is what I'm gonna use to set my concealer. This is a 2-in-1 powder, so this side comes with a pressed powder, and then when you twist the package to open it, it comes with the loose powder, and they're both pink shades. So if you're more of a cool undertone, I would say these shades would be perfect, but you can still use them if you have warm undertones. I think it just depends on your concealer. So I'm gonna go in with the loose powder because this gives more of a matte finish, which is exactly what I'm going for. And of course, before applying the powder, I do like to swirl that at the back of my hand just to even it out. And mind you, this powder is actually highly pigmented, so you want to slowly apply it only on the areas where you need to set that concealer. So under my eyes, as you can see, it's like instantly absorbing all the oils on my skin. It's also a water resistant powder and a waterproof powder. So both the foundations and the powders are waterproof, which means that they're really long lasting products, but we're gonna put that to the test with the 8-hour wear test just to see if these products actually live up to the claims. I love how mattifying it is on my skin. It literally just absorbs your skin and gives you a matte finish. One mistake that I see a lot of people making with this powder and they say they don't like it is because they use too much. You have to use a very small amount just to set your concealer because it's a very light colored powder and it's also really pigmented. And then for e.l.f, I'm gonna go in with the Halo setting powder. Now this is more of like a translucent slash banana type of setting powder compared to the SheGlam, which is a pink powder. And what's also different about this powder is that it gives more of a glowier finish. It is also a highly pigmented powder, so you do want to swirl that to even it out. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and press that right underneath my eyes to set that concealer. Now as you can see, that has instantly set that concealer, but it's still giving me more of like a glowy finish compared to SheGlam that's giving me more of a matte finish. So if you're a dry skin girly like me and you like kind of more of like that glowy type of makeup look, I would say the Halo setting powder would be best. And if you have like really dry skin and you're looking for like a sweat proof type of powder, I would say this SheGlam one would work best for you. Now I just went ahead and sculpted my eyebrows using this brow product by SheGlam. This is the Brows on Demand 2-in-1 brow pencil and pen. So on one side you get the pen. It's actually very thin and super easy to use. And then on the other side you get the brow pen, and it's also a retractable pen, which we love. Unfortunately, I don't have any e.l.f. Cosmetics eyebrow pen to use, so I just went ahead and used this. Now for mascara, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. waterproof Big Mood mascara. This does have a very thick applicator, so I think it's very good if you have really long eyelashes. If you have very small eyelashes, you do want to be careful not to smudge it, but I love this mascara because it's a very nice lengthening mascara. It does give your eyelashes more of a fuller look. Now fortunately, I can't find my SheGlam mascara, so I'm just gonna use this on this side as well. Now as you can see, I have very short eyelashes, but this mascara gives me more of a lengthening effect. So even if you have very teary eyes, I love that it does not smudge. For lip liner, we're using the e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner. This is like a really nice brown shade. I'm gonna use this to line my entire lips because unfortunately I don't have the brown shade of the SheGlam lip liner. They do have these glide on lip liners in so many different shades. I feel like a shade that would work perfectly for deeper and darker skin tones is the shade Coffee, which is like a dark brown shade, but unfortunately I don't have that shade. Now SheGlam has these Rouge à Lèvres lipsticks. This is definitely giving the YSL lipstick dupe. This is more more of like a high shine lip gloss slash lipstick. So it's moisturizing, it glides on the lips. I love this types of lipsticks because you don't need any gloss on top. It already gives kind of like that shiny finish. And something very similar to this that I find is the Pout Cloud lipsticks by e.l.f. Cosmetics. It's kind of like a push-up product that you can push to use. And I'm just gonna apply that on my lips. The e.l.f. is giving more of like pigmented and stickier, and this SheGlam one is giving more lightweight. It doesn't feel sticky. So if you're somebody who likes like really pigmented sticky glosses, I would say this e.l.f. is for ya. But if you're somebody who's leaning towards like more slippery lip glosses, then I would definitely say this SheGlam would be perfect for you. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we are gonna be doing a wear test, which I feel like is the most important part about this whole process, because we wanna compare the makeup products to see which one stays on longer, because you're wearing your makeup out and not staying inside with it. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of activities like going cycling. I'm gonna try and sweat just to test to see if these products are sweat proof, transfer proof, waterproof. They had a lot of claims, so we're gonna test all those claims out. Now, I did my makeup around 10 a.m. It is now 12:57, so I've had this makeup on for about 3 hours already. So I'm gonna come back after maybe like 5 to 6 hours to show you guys what it looks like after 8 to 9 hours of wearing this makeup. But so far, this is what the SheGlam side is looking like, and this is the e.l.f. side. So far, so good on both sides. I don't feel like anything is moving yet. Like I'm not getting any creasing. Everything looks flawless, like it always does after applying it. But the most important thing is the wear test. So I just came back from a really intense cycling session. It's officially 7:54, so it's been about 10 hours that I've had this makeup on, and this is what both sides are looking like. Now, instantly I can tell the SheGlam held up pretty well. Like I'm not getting any creasing under my eyes and around my mouth area. Still giving more of like a matte finish. I did get oily on my T-zone area around here, but everywhere else looks pretty intact. The e.l.f. side looks a little bit more glowier, and I will say it's kind of brighter. The setting powder and the concealer help to brighten up my under eyes, but one thing I will say is the creasing around my mouth from the foundation is definitely noticeable, and also under my eyes I am getting a little bit of creasing. So I would say the concealer is one that you want to make sure to use a non-creasing technique to make sure that it doesn't crease under your eyes. But overall, I think this still looks really good, especially for really affordable makeup products. So if you have more of like drier skin and you're looking for more glowy makeup or hydrating makeup, I would say like the e.l.f. products are definitely go-tos. And if you're looking for more of like sweat proof, long lasting, transfer proof, transfer resistant makeup that can stay put for up to 12 hours, I would definitely say SheGlam products are some that you want to invest in. So I think it just all depends on what you're going for and exactly what you're looking for. Let me know in the comments which products you would go for, or even like which side you would definitely go for, especially for which specific occasion. And now the 2024 makeup look looks quite different from the 2016, and that's why you have to watch this video, because in this video I compare the 2016 makeup to 2024 makeup and go through in detail which one is right for you.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'.